Just getting set up here. All right, so I made a couple of images here of a phoenix in the sun. And I wanted to make some death maps because I want to do some coins on my F2 Ultra MOPA laser. So as you can see, this has a lot of shading. So I'm not sure, I wasn't sure how well the XTool Studio would handle that. And this one has shading as well. I removed the backgrounds on these. I went through Adobe Illustrator and, well, I have the background on this one. Let's remove that real quick. So I'm using the magic eraser tool in Photoshop. So I just removed the backgrounds like that. It's pretty easy. What I did is I took these images into Adobe Illustrator and I did an image trace on them, and then I reduced the colors a bit, and then I also hit expand to turn it back into vector lines. So then I saved those images. Of course, with Adobe Illustrator, you have to bring it back into Photoshop, take out the background again. So it was a lot of work. I mean, not too bad, but I just, it's a pain in the butt that you can't remove the background easily. You might be able to, I'm not sure how. I can use Photoshop a little better than Illustrator, so. All right, so here's the Phoenix side of the coin. This is the sun side. It's got the letter Solus here. And then I reduced this down to just more of a animated image and less colors to see how XTool would handle that. And here's the sun within that style as well. Okay, so let's go into XTool Studio and I'll show you the results here. So this Phoenix right here is actually this image that XTool used. Then the second image below it is this image. And as you can see, it did a pretty good job. There's a little bit more depth on this one, I think. But I think it lost some of the details because of the shading that was in there. Because if you come in on this one, on the tail, there's some almost like Celtic style lines here. And then we'll zoom in on the first one. You can see they're there, but kind of washed out a little bit more, I think. I'll go back to the other one so you can see that again. And then I'll pull back. You can see both at the same time here. It's a little harder to see at this level, but you can see the lines are a little more defined in the other image. And that the other image was this one. So it did pretty well with the depths on this one, I think, even though it was more of a flatter image. All right, let's go ahead and look at the sun depth map now. Now, as you can see in the first one, the wording is not there. Soulless. So basically drop that. I don't know for what reason. So I did like the same prompt on every image. Render your subject as a depth map inside a circular medallion, and then the subject is the image. I think the second time around I may have just put no background. But it's still put in the background. I was trying to save myself some time taking out that black background. So I had to pull it out to Photoshop again and then pull the background out again and then I'll import it into the project. So let's go back to the images and look at the first one here. So this is the one with the shading and more colorful. And that's the first one up here. And you can see it's got quite a bit of the design here with the lines. Let's go ahead and take a look at the second one here. So the second one was the flatter image, more like an animated image. And let's go ahead and look at the second output here. And you can see it pulled the words or the word out of there, solace, so that worked well. I also think there's some more detail around the edge here than the one up above. And you can see a lot of lines in here for the face. You see, you don't see as many lines here. There's some detail here up above. Doesn't look too bad. I just don't like that it didn't bring the word in. Definitely a bit more detail here. And I'm not sure how well the MOPA is gonna, the F2 Ultra is gonna take care of this. So I'm not sure the detail at this level, if it will even get in there and show all that or not, but I'll be testing that. So that's all I wanted to do, just show you the comparison of the images and the outputs of the depth maps within XTool Studio. Thanks for viewing and have a great day.